guys. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today and every day. If you are a part of the Gypsy tribe or not, if you are someone who is military, law enforcement, social services or not, working in the occult, theology, religion or not, if you're a new witch, excited to practice something new or not, hopefully you're able to join me a little bit each day. I'm trying to keep them very short and sweet because I think that is what deters me on days that I'm like overworked, very stressed. Yesterday was a very military active day. So for that reason, No Man's Land did not air and people freaked out. I was very excited and honored for those of you who were like, what happened? It was Wednesday and I was looking forward to it. Guys, I do work crisis. And so whenever there is some type of initiation of any kind that triggers people, especially in a space of PTSD and things of that nature, that's kind of a place for certain people in social spaces to step in for mental health. So yesterday was kind of a heavy day in that space, not just because of the day, the versary, the space, the overwhelming like media swarms, but different things. So in that realm, if you were joining me on social media and slightly concerned, those were some of the reasons why, and also why I work, do all the things, and we prioritize. So I was still able to post the astrology, still able to give you those indications, those meditations, those affirmations, but I wasn't able to see your beautiful face. That's okay. I'm here now. And what is this? I'm still at work. But hi, welcome, Steph. Anyone else joining us, be sure and let me know where you are joining me from. It's nice to see you. So, without further ado, what is today's meditation? What are we looking at today? What kind of energy are we working with, Sarah? What the hell's going on? Lately, there's been a lot of swarm in Pisces. Okay, the moon's been moving in this space. We have Neptune in this space, which is a big indicator for people working in health, social, people-related industries. It's like a full moon almost on Neptune and Pisces. So it's been kind of dramatic in that sense where things are shifting a lot. We also have some planets moving in Capricorn. If you're into that kind of astrology for major planetary things and predictions, check out our Tuesday night show, Astrology and Alchemy at 9 p.m. But today, the moon is in Pisces, still out there waxing, growing. You're going to see more of it, lighter in the sky, lighter sooner, these kinds of things. But it's sextile. I hear the word sex. I think harmony. I think, coming together, come together. Uranus and Taurus. Uranus and Taurus, that's kind of that wild Winona Ryder, that crazy energy that comes out of the middle of nowhere and does whatever it wants. Who knows what Winona is going to do next? It'll be interesting. It's kind of like a Christina Ricci kind of energy. It's unique, it's strange, it's doing things in its own way, but sometimes it's sexy and you're like, what? It's interesting. Be true to yourself and what makes you unique. The moon, the inner menstrual cycles, ebbs and flows. Think of, Simon and Garfunkel, the tide, the inner in water. So water on water on water with Uranus in Taurus. Kind of earthish, weird. Water, 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 earth, weird. Deja vu, feeling the vibes, longing, nostalgia, understanding, energy of what? I think I know, but I think I don't. I think I might know, but I'm not sure. Stubborn, unmoved, rebellious, falling off the wagon left, right, and every which way. Because the feels, the ripples, it's like they're really heavy out there. If you are out there feeling, if you are working with people, if you are having to use your empathy, addiction, surrender, dependency, attachment, these kinds of things. Pisces! Relations, bonds, boundaries, water. Falling off the wagon. And you don't always see it either. Sometimes it's temperature, right? You put your fish in the darn water in the Ziploc bag and it looks like water and it feels like water and everything's the same. But man, you should have left them floating in their bag just a little bit longer. Just a little bit longer. I want you. This is earth energy. You got to grab onto that Taurus, grab that bull by the horns, that Breakfast Club moment. And you have to be able to see the weird, see the jock, see the nerd, and see how there's a strength in everything. I shared a song earlier on my social media, on my personal Facebook and on the Facebook of Paranormal Sarah. Um, Human. It's a very sexy song. And I think feminine energy, the demon, the slithering snake, information, and water. Water is sexy. It's reflective. It's introspective. Creepy. Who knows, right? Falling. Like David Bowie's Falling in Love from the Labyrinth. It's only forever. It's not long at all. It's perspective, refraction, reflection, sparkles. It's really seeing what you don't see. And oh man, if you go under, if you jump off that boat, if you're not completely sure what's underneath, how can you be? What does that mean? You just got to go for it, right? And that's that energy and kind of what it brings. So there's an essence or a theme in the ripples, if we're looking at it, that's quitter, stop. Are you going to do it? Do it, do it. Discipline. I want you to think psyche. This is space, firmament, deep water, abyss. Psyche, that story, there's a story there. There's a goddess there. The goddess Psyche, if you've been seeing Medusa or the snake, ooh, Psyche's got I love her. The push through. This is the drop in Inception. This is the shake from one space to the other. A meniscus, but not to pop everything. You have to be able to ascend without exploding. You have to be able to manage your pressure and temperature and soluble motions and do it well. That's the astrology today. Listen, earth energy. Sit silent, think. Don't overthink. Don't think. What do I know? I know this. I know that. Yep. But what does this feel like? Ooh. But why? I mean, you can keep the feelings and the feels and the whys and the whys. Like, you have to start really separating. If we're doing alchemy with me, right? Your thoughts, your feelings, what you say, and what you do. Really, really, really powerful and also hard. Because it's powerful, it's difficult. Sometimes it means delegating. But that's definitely more advanced things. If you are interested in that, you guys can contact me if you're interested in a private reading, if you're interested in just learning more. Definitely tune in. We're doing this every day this year, which is usually stuff I do for the Gypsy Tribe on one-on-one mentorship. But, we're just doing it daily as a group because so many changes this year. The villain, risk, just do it. See what happens. Don't limit yourself. And so I'm doing that in this way. One of the things as far as neurolinguistic programming goes today, because we are thinking and feeling, one of the things that is very important in being able to teeter that energy, have moderation of alchemy, be able to balance the scales, if you will, is see what words are activating cognitive processes in our lives. And right now in this New Year's resolution space, the quitting would suggest maybe those New Year's resolutions that you made, you fell off the wagon. That's okay. In recovery, sometimes we say that part of that trial and error process, relapse is part of recovery. It's a siphon, it's a movement, and forever growth definitely doesn't not include death. There's going to be some missteps. So what do you do to or with a resolution? Something that you have determined with discipline, with good rapport, with stance, with stability, a resolute. You are going to do this, an action of fire, or not do it, inaction. Have you done it? Did you fail? Or we are preventative because it's still early in the day and we go, you know what? I'm going to jump on this bandwagon, not fall off of it. And I'm going to use the word amend. An amend is original to that word, right? Some words, oublier, to forget. It sounds different than it is. But amend, Latin for emendare, amend, amendare. It's kind of similar, right? But what I love is that the dictionary and scripture, things that have been written down because people were knowledgeable enough to know, it tells you like a spell book how to do something. So think of the word amend And what does that mean? In chemical dependency, some people will say there's a certain step that requires that you amend things. What does that mean? If someone has hurt your feelings or there has been a loss in some way, shape, or form in your life, in your emotions, you want to amend it. If you've done something and it wasn't quite right, people will often say, well, I'm going to need to amend that. What does that mean, though? Well, by definition, when we look in the spell book, Webster's Dictionary, or wherever you go to get your definitions, it's Latin and it's in the third person. So what I love about that is if we are doing alchemy, neurolinguistic programming, it's not a thought or a feeling. No, it's a verb. So it's something you do. So we know it's a masculine. It's either say something you'd say or do. It's a verb. So it's probably something you do. It's related to fire. But then they say, oh, but it's third person. Whoop. That means it needs to include at least 3 variables. And if it includes at least 3 variables, it's going to be fire, air, water, or it's going to be earth, water, fire. It's going to be one of these 3, which means it's going to overlap. It's going to be a siphon process. It's going to be a give and receive. Not everything is. Introspection isn't. You know, you don't share your introspect. You go in. And so there's a certain process, and amend is going to include at least 3 of these 4. So there's going to be a rip. You can kind of see if you're a mechanic or it's 79%, you know. And what it means is to make a minor change, to update, to make fair, more accurate, revise, alter, change, modify, edit, adapt, criticize, to amend. You know what? Up. See this right here? I'm going to amend this. Here, let me. One of the things I love, an italics or an asterisk, something in parentheses, something in Latin, something that you kind of have to look to the side, look down. It's not going to be usually directly there, but there it was in the dictionary. It said to make a minor change or update, to make fair or more accurate, specifically in text. Specifically for text. That is fantastic. Tells you exactly how to manage the air. It also tells you that air is going to be included. That's air, fire, for sure, right? Because it's something you do. And man, legally, to amend something, you have to write it down. You modify it in ink. You notarize it. It's not real until it's been written down. Someone you go and you wait in line at the DMV and you say, oh, well, here's my son. I'd like to go ahead and get his driver's license. And they say, okay, wonderful. Do you have his paperwork? What do you mean? What do you need that for? I'm here. I'm his dad. Here he is. Here's my son. He's my son. Try again, my friend. Does it mean that it's not true? Does it mean that it's not accurate? No. But if you want it to be real, you want people to accept it, you want it to be seen or tangible or physical in a way that moves you into fire, gets you through the line, gets you your card. Thank you very much. I hate this place. Get me out of here. Faster, efficient. Write it down. Write it down. Write it down. Write it down. It says it there, doesn't it? It says, write it down in text. Make it better. Write it down. Change it to a red pen and write it down. And the archaic term of this neurolinguistically is to make right. I love philosophy. What is right? We're thinking about ethics or morals, right, wrong, good, bad. Same but different. Fingers and thumbs. To put right. To put right. If you're a mathematician, if you're a baker, whatever your skilled trade is, what does it mean to do something right? Usually it is in reference to equalizing your inner and outer process, your yin and yang, your in and out, your thoughts, feelings, what you say and what you do, and that this is kind of a cohesive working cognitive process and that it's right. Is that right? That's right. How do you know? How do you know that's right? Well, we wrote it down. We did it. I feel good about it. I thought about it. I felt about it. And I wrote it down. I amended it. I took the time as I was getting ready to say it. Because people will be like, Happy New Year this year. Wait a minute. Are you listening? Thanks. This year, I'm going to make $1 million. I'm going to lose weight and I'm going to buy a Lamborghini. Woo! And people are half drunk and they're making resolutions. It's not resolute. It's not with thought. It's not determined. It's not designed. It doesn't have a grand master plan. They didn't even fucking think that long about it. Not that it matters. I mean, someone can join the game and be a level 21 and only have played 22 hours. It's not the same as 6,100 hours, but still, we make our judgments. Here we are. If you want a resolution to work, if you want that answer or that design to hold up, Jenny, Sarah, those of you joining us, what do? You amend it. You amend it. Does that mean it wasn't right the first time? It means that it could have been right, but that variables change every day. The temperature is different today than it was yesterday. That matters. Hell, people were thinking it was rockets yesterday. It's bombs today. It matters. Check it before you wreck it. Measure twice, cut once. This is the way. That means we amend it. That means we take our beautiful little nubbed pen. Give me a break. Who's using calligraphy pens? What fucking people coming out of the woodwork using cool ass fucking pens doing calligraphy? Some people are. It's a gift. If you have a gift, which by the way, neurolinguistically, think of the word amend. If we're like going to a pyramid, if we're looking at a glyph, some Mayan, we're on an Indiana Jones episode here. What's that say? What's that say? Let me see. Ah, yes. Why, it's a little figure. Giving another little figure a gift. It looks like one's giving the other person something. Oh, and on this side of the giving, something is negative. Someone was hurt. It's like that scene in The Wizard of Oz. Oh, someone's really sad. It's my grandmother. Oh, she's really sad and crying. And it's like, you get a sense that something hurt you. We're sad. And so to make it right, you do and say something, write it down, write it down. You do and say something that it doesn't make up. Synonyms are compensate. The glyph is going to be like a gift or object, but would they be equal to? So if we're doing math, if we're doing chemistry, if we're baking, you don't do sugar to oil and fucking throw it all, 80, 20 million. It's got to be relative and contextual. Down to the atoms, up to the systems, and to the banners in the sky. Gangsters move in silence. It's true. So this is that amend. You want to write it down. Talking about moving in silence, does that mean that you have to announce, well, I know that last time we were here and I said I was going to do those things and it didn't seem like I meant it, because one, I was drunk, and then two, I just kind of yelled. But I've really thought about it and I took some time, and I know it's been a few months, but I actually I've taken, right. And then we wrote it down, and all my girlfriends and we wrote it down, and I got their feedback. Thank you. We got our feedback, and here's the plan. And it's like, okay, you've amended it. You talked about it. You wrote it down. You didn't have to share it with everybody. You didn't have to share it at all. You could write it in your diary and throw it into the wind. That's what's kind of cool. If you have faith in the process of what is, the observation theory can work with a mirror. Affirmations can work with no one. You have ears on your head. It's true. You can hear yourself. Actually, people don't like to hear their own voice. It kind of rubs you the wrong way. But you trust yourself. If you write yourself something, dear future Sarah, don't date Jasons. Just don't. Who said that? Damn, I said that? Shit. Well, what do I know? I mean, come on. It's important. It's important. It's relative. You write it down. You don't have to share it, but you write it down, because then you look at it and you look at it. You say it, you reread it, you look at it. You don't have to say it. But this will help make it so. You want to make $1 million? Write it down. Hey guys, you want to reach your dreams? Do it. But you got to write it down. You got to announce it. You got to put it on your Facebook profile, man. I don't know. I don't want to share that. I don't feel comfortable. Well, then it probably isn't going to happen. Sorry. If you can't declare it, the universe ain't going to share it. If you can't share it, what are you going to do? Be stagnant? Well, that ain't growth. That ain't better. It may not be in alignment with what you think you need, you have. It's kind of a cool process, amending. And it can include others if you trust them. Write it down. That's the key. That's the secret. People want to know the witchcraft of the day. Make your resolution happen by looking at it again. Looking at it by means of writing it down. Do it with a dry erase number. Do it with toothpaste on your mirror. It doesn't matter. But move that potential to kinetic energy. Move the thoughts and feelings that you have to a space of declaration. Write it down. And then you will be able to do it much easier. Much easier. Do it from the top of the hill, not from the bottom. It's physics. And it's exciting. So I want you guys to think about this with the astrology, because the way that it breaks down is the astrology, we look and we go, oh, this is a process. It could be temperature, it could be pace, it could be buffering. If things are rolling, where are they moving? Where are things out of control? It's going to be that, man, there's some weird energy coming in. It's Taurus. It's weird because it's Uranus. And it's coming in and it's going to give us information. It's going to make us feel like we might be falling off the wagon, but we have to be disciplined. You have to go to that story of Psyche and see what synchronicities live there for you and what lessons show themselves. The corks are an asset. The mohawk is what stands out. How you feel about it? Yeah, but some people are they're probably going to think they're going to think you're a punk. They're probably going to think you smoke weed. They're probably going to think you can't keep a job. I mean, if you have a tattoo on your hand, you can't get in the military, sweetie. People are going to say and think a lot of things. Okay. And again, show me on paper. I'm from Missouri. I'm from the show me state. Write it down. Where does it say that? Where in my lease does it say I can't have a hedgehog? I want to know. Oh, there's an amendum, pet amendum. Oh, right there. Oh. Oh, it sure does say that. Well, I guess that makes it real. So I want you to think about that. It doesn't mean that it makes it less real. It doesn't mean that you may not still fucking have a hedgehog in your apartment, because, bitch, I did for years. But then that starts to imply competency and guilt and should I, could I, would I, and integrity of what you do and what people will think about you. What? Because it's a siphon. But anyway, you get the time and opportunity to declare your resolutions. You get to declare what you're going to do and not do. And then you get to amend it and know exactly how to do that. Write it down. Write it down. Write it down. And share it if you want. And then look at the astrology and put it into action in due time when it's right. And that'll be subjective to you and contextual to where you are. If you want to know more, if you want to go, where am I? Fuck, Sarah, this is crazy, but it's relevant. And oh my God, I want to know more. Divination, synchronicities, lack of skepticism by way of research, scientific method, test, trial and error, watch, observe, experience, experiment. There's going to be all sorts of things that you have to say and do. It's work. If you want some help, if you want to delegate, if you want to ask, you can ask those who have expertise. Maybe someone with a master's degree in forensic psychology who works with this sort of thing. Maybe somebody who's worked 20 some years in chemical dependency and social services. Maybe somebody who, has been there, done that, might know a thing or two and thinks a thing or two, and will help have these conversations with you, with or without judgment, because I can contain my emotions, because I work boundaries. But also, I have a lot of intuition. And I'll tell you, you know what? This might sound weird, but I do know this. And I can differentiate. So in that space, there was a time where I thought, man, in profiling, I've been trained to profile. Is it fair that I also do intuitive work? And then someone told me, man, if Bruce Wayne had denied himself his cool ass vehicles just because he had some trauma, we wouldn't have Batman. Na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Use it all. And so I do. And I would encourage you to use it all. Amend things. Use it, write it down, make those things happen. It's exciting. And if you have questions on how to do it, join me at paranormalsarah.com. Join me here. Join me there, wherever you are. Where are you? Where are you right now? Physically, latitude, longitude, but also like what platform? Because you can join me on YouTube. You can join me on Facebook. You can join me on Twitter. I'm not there that often because Twitter kind of annoys me, but I am there. So you can check me out at facebook.com /Paranormal Sarah. And you can also just go to paranormalsarah.com if you're kind of lazy, efficient. Go the place where the website domains are. Click it, like it, subscribe, share it. That would be really fun. Not only because I'm selfish and I want to be around more cool people, you and who you hang out with, and people who are attracted to this sort of thing. But that means if you think you know somebody who might be interested in this sort of thing, you better tag them because how else would they know? We're playing telephone with people who want to play. So you guys share this, and hopefully you will join me tonight as I do a No Man's Land later this evening at 10 o'clock. It's usually 10:10. Usually I don't do it on Thursdays, but I might because there's some crazy stuff going on in the news. If you are not watching the news, it is not rocket testing, guys. It is not. It is not. It's not. Right out of your nose. It's not. Okay? So, reach out to military people, check and make sure everyone that you know is okay, doing well, taking their vitamin D, being healthy, washing their hands, smiling to people, being kind. And I will see you on the flip side. Until then, guys, bye bye.